I will explain in this video the meaning of the terms, the gospel and the kingdom of heaven. I would explain this in the same video because when you look at the scriptures, what is written is actually the gospel of the kingdom of heaven. So the gospel, which means the good news, is that um, you can live in the kingdom of heaven, which is the same as the kingdom of God. I mean, actually, it doesn't say the kingdom of heaven, it says the gospel of the kingdom. And the term the kingdom is sometimes you see it as the kingdom of God, and sometimes it's written the kingdom of heaven. Like it depends in which gospel, the same sermons and the same parables and basically all the same stuff is sometimes using the term the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God in a way that you can get that it's the same thing. And it's quite obvious, I think, also that heaven is referring to the kingdom of, and the kingdom of heaven and heaven, that it means the same thing, right? So that part is clear. And then so he's saying like that there is a good news that he wants his disciples to tell all the world. That is that people, anyone that people can live in God's kingdom, which is, in other words, God. You notice, like, right? He created the universe, and you notice how big it is. Like he there is so it's so big that even today no one knows how big it is. No one knows to say exactly how much, but it's like, on to give you a scale, is like the amount of planets is 6 trillion or something. Anyway, it's like it's so big that you can't comprehend even the amount of planets from how big the number is. You know, it's like the amount of planets is like something like 1,000 billion planets. So he can create as much as he wants, basically. You can see that. And he also makes the rules, like the rules of this world, the laws of physics, yes? He made them. He can change the rules also if he wants, like, people, let's say, for example, to not get old. He can just decide people would not get old. If he wants people to be happy, he can decide that someone would be happy. If he wants someone to be invulnerable, for example, to anything, nothing possibly can hurt you in any way, then that's just gonna be like that. So, like, basically, so it's like basically invitation to have forever, like, everything great. So and then is like how do we see it in the scriptures? I would give you some examples. I would quote some from Luke 14 that is saying something about this. Um, so he says in Luke 14, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My father, my father's house." Now, my father's house, it's quite clear, that he's talking his father's kingdom, because of course he's not actually talking about the house. So my father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? So he's telling you that he's going there. So that means when he left Earth, they also saw him, like, go up in the sky and disappear, and angels also. But so like, they saw him leave Earth. So it's not somewhere on Earth. he saw him disappear, and he didn't die. So he went out of this universe, out of where we live, and went somewhere else that he's saying is his father's house, which is the same as his father kingdom, which is the same as the kingdom of heaven or heaven. And he says that continue a bit, go a bit back and continue. Would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go, so he's going there, and he's not just gonna went there. He would prepare a place for his who he wants to. In this case, he's talking to his disciples, but he's also whoever he wants to. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back. So he's talking now about the second coming, right? Because he says I will come back, and he would come back. He's describing it as also that the elect are gathered, angels collect all from all the world, all the elect, which is everybody he chooses, in other words. I come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. So he says also that like he's talking to his disciples, and he's talking in this also in the future to us, that we know how to get there. What does it mean we know how to get there? It's like, he described it in all kind of other places that he talks, and it's also quite clear, honestly. It's kind of clear anyway, that like, how would you get there? You would get there by like, understanding what God said first by the earlier prophets, and also by him. You understand what God said, and you obey it. Yes, you obey his commandments to the best of you. Do your best to obey his commandments. You need to learn them, understand them, and obey them. You need to love God as much as you can, and try also other people to the best that you can, and to in general to keep his commandments, and then you would get there.